Hello everyone, I am Siddhant Sharma, a member of Public Relations Committee of Chemical Engineering Society (SVNIT). Today we are delighted to have with us Mr. Dhyey Patel sir, an alumnus of the 2024 batch of SVNIT Chemical Engineering. He was also an active member of CHES SVNIT during his college days, and currently he is working with mass material after pursuing his master's studies at Rice University, USA. So I warmly welcome you, sir. Sir, can you give a brief introduction about yourself?
Sure. So pretty much would be repeating what you just said. My name is Dhyey Patel, and I'm currently pursuing my master's at Rice. And right now, I have one more semester to go. And right now, I'm in Houston, Texas. And yeah, happy to help anyone who is trying to thinking of going abroad, or they just have that they want to keep their option open. So happy to help anyone. I got to learn so many things when I first came over here. So I feel like listening to someone listening to experience like with someone like me, it might be helpful for you. So happy to help anyone who, in future as well.
So let's start with the first question. Could you walk us through your professional journey since SVNIT? How did you decide on your career path and what were the key turning points?
So for me, I always dreamt of studying abroad. I mean that feeling of being, I guess, independent, and I really wanted to step out of my comfort zone. So I brought this up. I brought this idea during the COVID. I think I was in my second year, and my parents were really very supportive of me. I felt like it's a great place to begin your professional career in, and so that's why during my third year, I joined a consultancy for GRE prep and TOEFL prep as well. But I would say like the consultancy, they work at a very slow pace. I just got the material and I've started working on my own pace. And I gave my GRE in my third year itself. I got a score of 324. I then in within 1 week I gave my TOEFL as well, and I got a score of 108 out of 120. So as soon as I got that, I was pretty confident that like, hey, I would be getting into a good university. So I started working on that. So my advice to anyone would be to give your GRE and TOEFL early. I mean, it's a exam where your score lasts for 3 years. So giving it in your second or third year would then also keep your option of you participating in the career fair and on campus placement. So I think right now, since whatever the situation is right now, and visas are getting rejected for no particular reason. So I think for anyone who's coming over here, give your exams early and always try to keep an on-campus placement option open in your fourth year. So that way you have both options. And then once you are in your final semester, you could really double down on any option.
Oh, it's truly inspiring to see how journey evolved and so thoughtfully driven by both passions and clarity. So, what motivated you to pursue your graduate studies at Rice University, and how did you adapt to the transition from SVNIT to studying abroad?
For me, it was a learning experience at consultancy because I feel like they just give out like the top 10 rankings list, which is even, come on, even you can do that. So I felt like you should do your own research. And this is one of the most important things where I realized coming over here is the location of university is very important. I would strongly argue like if you're coming over here, look for states which are best for chemical engineering, which have a lot of engineering options open. I have a lot of industries over there. So that's what I did. And Texas is the best state for all of them. And Houston is the energy capital of the United States. So then I looked into all the top colleges, and Rice was pretty much top of every list. So I applied to Rice, and luckily I applied early, so I was able to get an offer letter and a bit of scholarships as well. But yeah, so answering your question, what is the second part? I'm sorry.
So how you adapt that this
Oh,
transition?
the adaptive transition. Yeah, it is pretty different because your master's life over here is pretty busy, I would say. You have to have a balance between you going to class. So classes aren't, it's like barely 10, 12 hours a week. So your other time is trying to finish all the assignments. You also over here, it's expensive. So you try to work a part time as well. I work as a part time chef, so in between you have to do your part times. You like to roam here and there as well, so it's pretty busy over here. But I feel like that's the reason I've become more independent, and I am able to really now just focus on the work life balance as well.
So adapting to a new academic culture and environment is not easy, but your experience shows how resilience and preparation can bridge the gap and open new avenues for growth. So, from your project at SVNIT and RISE, what challenges did you face in simulation, experimentation, and teamwork, and how did you apply theory to real world problems?
So I would say for simulation part of it, the companies over here and probably in India as well, like they use a completely different software or a completely different modded version of your software. So I would say it's a good skill to have, but no, I would encourage you to have a well-rounded, like not just focus on simulation. You should also have some other projects, some other hands-on projects as well. So that is something which I felt sharing with you, because simulation, just knowing one simulation software isn't gonna help you anywhere. And As for the research part, I my program does not have a thesis, so I do not have research work at Rice. But during my internship, I had to work on some analytical methods. So for applying the theory to real life problems, I think that's where the professional experience, that's where the internship over here helped me a lot in developing critical thinking. uh, it's using something as simple as mass balance equations. So, and then thinking about it to how to improve our yield. And with talking to someone who is very experienced in this field and sharing your ideas with it. And then it's so, for me it was very, I also used to overthink everything, like over engineers everything. But over here talking to people, learning about their experience, you would know that the best solutions are always the most simplest solutions. So that's a big part of applying your theoretical knowledge, is getting an industrial experience.
So, how did the academic and research culture at Rice University differ from SVNIT? And what new perspective and skills did you gain from that experience?
uh, Academic was completely different, I would say. And I still remember trying to learn what 40, 50 flow sheets of GCD, and it was it was not the best experience. But over here, I found like they do not want you to memorize any formulas or something. Even during my interviews, they do not ask me any formulas. So so even in during our exams, we are allowed to bring our laptops. We are allowed to have like a cheat sheet or anything like that, any notes which we like to bring. So that tells me that people over here, they value your critical thinking. They value like how you are able to understand the problem and make a solution out of it, and not just spend your time trying to memorize 40, 50 equations of how to make a heat exchanger. So I hope you get what I mean. And for the research culture as well, I mean, I did some research back in SVNIT, and over here I feel like the infrastructure is so different and it's so readily available. For example, in India, I think I had to send my samples to NIT Bhopal for, I think it was SEM imaging. So can you imagine, like it took us 2 weeks to get that result, and then we had to analyze it in different. Over here, every department has their own sim imaging, so you reduce that time, right? So you are able to do more, be more productive in that shorter, in that same amount of time. So it's a big difference in academic and research culture over here as well.
It's so fascinating to hear you how different academic cultures shapes one's approach and learning innovation. So currently you are working with mass materials. Could you tell us about the company's work and your role there and what excites you to the most being part of it?
Yeah, sure. So Mars Material is one of the best green tech companies in carbon negative space. So we take capture carbon dioxide and we use our processes to turn into acrylonitrile. So which is a very useful polymer. It is the precursor to carbon fiber. So carbon fiber in itself is like a $4 billion market in US itself. And right now it is also used in, I think, wastewater treatment and everything. So it's a very useful polymer, but the current process which the industry uses is very carbon intensive and it generates a lot of CO2. So these guys, I was helping them develop this process at a pilot scale, and now we are slowly increasing our production, and we recently got a product validated by the biggest manufacturer of acrylonitrile. So that opens new doors to future investments, to production orders. So I was helping them run the pilot plant, and for me, my role one paper was like a process engineer, but I did everything from like the whole engineering cycle, from instrumentation and wiring of the reactor, of the control panel, to also like fit testing the reactor, to then actually conducting the experiments, doing mass balance, thinking about some changes, and then actually using analytical methods like I think GC, MS, and FID. And we then had to test whether our methods were working. So I mean, it this in my first 3 days of my internship, I learned more than I did at 1 year at my rice, I would say, because like I said, hands-on experience is very different from what's like a theoretical knowledge. Both are essential for each other, I would say, but it's like so different. And for me, it was very rewarding to be a part of this. And another thing was like how it was happy to see like they trust me with they always support me to share my ideas. The respect, they had immense respect for each other in the team. So that's how I think, and there is a great startups are a great place to have internships. I'm not saying it's better than like a MNC, but I think startups do, they offer you a lot. You are able to work beyond your scope, and since like it's a small team, you can pretty much learn from everyone's experience and have a better communication and discussions over there.
Oh, it's so inspiring. Basically, sustainability is the future, and it's exciting to see how your work directly contributing to the building this future. And looking back so far, what has been the most defining project and achievement in your professional career, and what skills helped you succeed in it?
For me, in my professional career, it was something like recent in my internship. Like I said, a company product had been validated, and we uh, got another grant as well of $100,000, and it's, and although I was there for 2 months over there, it was something which I feel like very happy, and to help them unlock that funds, I know it's going to be super helpful for us in the future as well. So I think the skills would be apart from the usual technical skills, like it's good to have your knowledge in simulation, in coding as well, to help you understand the human machine interference softwares, and for the process control, basic process control tools, and also having basic knowledge is pretty good. But I would say uh, have worked. I think I developed my soft skills more than any other, more than my technical skills as well. I would say over here, being curious, not being afraid to ask good questions. Like even if you have dumb questions, it's fine if you open up and ask them. I think it helps you develop critical thinking, fundamental knowledge, and overall being a good player, good team player. So I would say, yeah, and it's not like I struggle for a bit, and it's like because you feel like you are in a conversation with someone who has been doing this for like past 7 years, 8 years. So you feel like that feeling like, hey, should I ask this question? Should it be? Is it too dumb of a question? Should I do my own research and find out? But over here, and I would say in any professional career, any professional company, like in early parts of a career, you should be always curious. You should always ask for responsibility, and I think that's how you really accelerate your growth.
So that's a powerful example of how technical depth combined with soft skills and this can drive success in learning engineering. Looking ahead, what emerging trends or skills in chemical engineering do you think students should prepare for to stay industry ready?
Right. So I think having a balanced portfolio or a diverse portfolio is very important. Like I said, you should not just focus on, let's say, simulation software. So like if it's good if you like simulation software, but try getting some research experience, try getting some hands-on projects. So that's why I really value CHES and Drishti a lot. So join these clubs, take part in diverse events like where in Drishti, like when we build something hands-on, or in CHS like we have the chemical or anything. So having a diverse portfolio is really uh, it's really valued over here. And I would say during my interviews as well, they did not ask me. I I don't think they asked me any technical questions. They just give you the floor and tell you like ask you to tell you about your projects, your experiments in detail. And so I would say really focus on your projects if you are planning to come over here and really understand the project, not just being like a part of the team and not showing up and you'll think that you get away. But no, these guys are professionals in the field, so you can easily tell when someone is lying about they really did that project or not. So I would say have a diverse portfolio. You can always get some good certification courses, and yeah, that's probably I believe like would help you uh, uh, stay industry ready.
I am very happy after hearing from you. I'm very happy to the part of this society. Can you share a memorable moment or initiative from CHES journey that still resonates with you, and how did that experience contribute to your professional growth?
Sure, I think it was. I have to go back to I think Chemicar itself, like Chemicar at I think it was SRC 2022 at VIT Vellore, and even before that, I think there was a Mindbend event where we had to build our own Chemicar. So I think that's what the perfect example of everything I just said right now. Like how you have to work together as a team and uh, so we had an electrochemical cell, so on theory like this should generate like 12 volts or something, but when you actually do an application part of it, you realize like it's not giving off enough current or there's too much of a resistance. That makes you think like, hey, should I divide it into smaller blocks or anything? So I think those hands-on projects really helped me, and I think it was very frustrating over at that time trying to get your car running and trying to reduce the weights or anything. And so that's how I think you learn. And I think that's what engineering at its fundamental is all about: finding a solution to a problem, and also that solution being the most simplest one. And I think that journey for me, that part of the CHS was the most helpful in contributing to my personal growth.
So, at last, what advice would you give juniors aiming for higher studies abroad or a career in engineering, and one key skill that they should cultivate to succeed?
Yeah, sure. So I think uh, I would like to just focus more on just what I said about giving your exams early, and in that way you could really help to keep your options open right now. I would say the job market right now of chemical engineers in particular, I feel like it's a bit hard to get into it right now. But because it's like even the companies over here, they are very hesitant right now to hire F1 students or just hire professionals because they have openings, I would say, like talking to a lot of professionals, but right now the government is so uncertain, like they are passing a bill every other week, so they are a bit uncertain over there. But I would say apart from you have to understand, like for me it was there are just two people in my batch, and for something like computer science there are 140. So you could see the difference over there. It's a smaller portion of the public which you are fighting for. So it's hard to get into it right now. Like it's basically every other job right now. But I would say once you get into chemical engineering jobs over here, it's pretty stable. There is a lot of growth into that. Your financial and your professional growth is really like skyrockets after 2 3 years, and you could really then once you gain your experience, it's very easy to just switch your companies, switch projects and everything. So I would say, yeah, right now, that's why I encourage you to be stay in a city which is there is scope for chemical engineering, because that's how you get your first internship. You maximize the chance of getting your first internship, and then you get it. Like it's a domino effect of then you getting your first job, and then you are able to go to networking events of people in that industry in that area and learn about how their company is working. So that's how you network as well. So that's why I would say, like, and right now also like keep your options open for on-campus placements, or suppose if you wanna give GATE or CAT or something, that you could really focus in your final year as well. And I would say the best skill which I have learned over here is communication. I find like sometimes we are just too robotic, or trying to frame your sentences in your mind before speaking, if that makes any sense. So I would say over here, being open to talk to anyone, and people over here, they will respect either they will respect whatever you say. So it's very important over here to not be shy, because that's how, like, if you don't, you have to find that opportunity over here. There are plenty of opportunities, but opportunities won't come to you directly. So that's how you have to build your rapport with your colleagues, with your professors, with anyone in the professional industry. That's how you have to get connections. And I think communication is the fundamental of all things over here.
That's a valuable takeaway, focusing on both technical skills and personal development. Your advice will surely guide many aspiring engineers here today. So I have done with the questions. Thank you so much, sir, for taking the time to join us today and for sharing your experience openly. I hope our audience will find this session amazing and interactive. And also, thank you once again, sir.
All right, thank you so much for having me over here. And like I said, if anyone wants to learn about what's it's over here and wants some more personal advice as well, like I'm very open to communication. So just try to find me on LinkedIn or try to get my number. I'm very I will be always open to help you guys.
Oh, surely, I will mention the LinkedIn idea.
Sure.
Thank you so much. Please like this session and share and subscribe. AICHE CHES 90.